Hey everybody, welcome to the Single Tracks podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Barber, and today I'm excited to be joined by Gabriel Wibmer. Gabriel is a 23-year-old Austrian freeride and trials rider who's built a massive YouTube following with his creative urban riding videos, including the viral Late for School series that's racked up nearly 25 million views. Sponsored by Canyon Bikes and hailing from East Tyrol, Austria, Gabriel has proven himself both as a downhill racer and as one of the most innovative content creators in mountain biking today. Gabriel, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thanks for having me. I'm really stoked to do this, and let's see where this goes today.
Awesome. So let's start at the beginning. I understand you started with motocross when you were just 5 years old, and then you moved to trials riding, and eventually you discovered downhill at age 12 in Leogang. How did those early disciplines shape your riding style?
Yeah. First of all, I started with riding motocross, as you said. It was like when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And motocross is like probably one of the brutal sports which is out there, because this is pretty insane, especially supercross. It's a pretty tough sport, and like I think I rode until like when I was like 8 or 9 years old, because then my parents decided that it might be a little bit too dangerous because we didn't really have any training facilities in east of Tyrol. And in general,
did you crash a lot?
I didn't, but the speed was getting faster and faster. That was like the main problem, and the training facility was like only on weekend. Like training was only on weekends, and so we had to change plans a little bit, but it was pretty cool. I think it was a pretty nice start, because that was like my roots, so to say, because it was fast and it was full of adrenaline. It was so fun, and it was really fun. But as I said, my parents wanted maybe a little bit a change of that. And then we discovered the trials motorcycle riding. That was like a more playful way to spend your time, and even like we had some competition there, and also had the Austrian championships. I took part in them, and that was like more chill. But after like several years, it was too like. It was just boring for me. I don't know. Like when I was like 11, 12 years old. In the meanwhile, maybe it's important to say that trials motorcycle got me to the trials riding kind of, the proper trial riding.
Trials was just bikes. I didn't realize you did trials motocross. That sounds difficult.
It's trials motorcycle.
Motorcycle,
Yes. Yeah. So and then like the trials motorcycle thing was just too boring, kind of, because like when you start with motocross, you just want to go higher and higher.
Yeah.
And I said to my parents, well, I want to do this anymore, because it's just not the right thing. And in the meantime, the Danny McCaskill video dropped, the Inspired Bicycles, or Inspired Bicycles, or I don't know what was the exact name, but whatever. Everybody knows the video of Danny McCaskill, and he actually got me into the street trial thing, and I was so fascinated by what he did. And there was such a cool thing to do, because he was so creative, and kind of I wanted to do that as well, more in this direction, because like he inspired so many people, and I was like, I need to try it, and my parents didn't hesitate to support my dream, and they bought me then a street trial. It was like more like a kid's bike. And it was the best thing ever. But like coming back to the question, how all of this maybe the impact what it had to my riding style. it was like, still to this date, I think it was the best, like, how to say, like the best combination of these two different sports. Because on the one hand, you have the more maybe aggressive and more like high risk, high speed style. And on the other side, you have the technique kind of thing with more patience, and those two combined is the ultimate dream, because like it's just so important to have a good technique, and then having the how to say, then have the two.
Yeah, you have the speed. I mean, it makes sense now that those two influence it. When I see your videos, like the late for school in particular, like when that came out, it was like, oh my goodness, this guy is like pedaling so fast and he's riding so fast, and then he's like, you know, going into these trials moves, and like is totally different style, different from Danny, different from what a lot of other people were doing. And it is that combination.
Definitely. It's the combination. And also, when I got into downhill racing, there was the perfect mix, because sometimes you have like slow paced corners or whatever, and then you can use like, I could use the trial techniques to get around more faster. And overall, like the bike still feels like more like my own body sometimes, because it's so, I really know what to do and how it will react to certain things. And this helps me a lot to progress a lot, but also make it as safe as possible. And that was always like, especially when you, I mean, in general, maybe when you think about motocross riders, you think like they are insane or whatever, but those people are probably like the most calculated people out there. And that's what I would say. Like I'm really calculated in my tricks and in my riding, so that you minimize the chance to get injured or crash a lot or whatever. I mean, crashing is always part of the game, but still, I mean, those two things combined with the speed on the one hand, with the motocross routes, and then on a trials bike, it shapes like a perfect combination, which we obviously didn't know because no one did this combination before. And that was quite cool to figure that out. That was pretty cool decision, and nice chapter, both of them.
Yeah, awesome. Well, so when you were starting out with trials, when you were first doing the trials bicycle, like how much time were you putting into that? I mean, was this like hours every day, or like how? Seems like that requires a lot of just time.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I also did, like, when I started with the trials riding, I did the trials competition as well. So the trials cycle competition, and also got Austrian champion in my age category, which was pretty.
Like how soon before you started until you were the champion?
Probably like 2 years, 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but there was more like. It was so natural. It didn't feel like a proper competition. Obviously, I did the World Cup, but it was just so fun. And recording to your question, how much time I spent. Like when I was a kid, I didn't really count the hours. But after school, every day, every single day, and I mean really every single day. It was the coolest thing ever. And then my friends got a bike as well. And that was the best thing, because after school we met up in our village, and then we just spent hours just riding and not really focused on being the best rider out there, but just having fun, figure it out, just have a good time. And that was the best thing ever. After school, there was such a good balance. Like it was the dream back then.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, so one of your earliest videos, Late for School, came out, I think, in 2019, and that was the one that really put you on the map. Yeah. I'm curious, how has YouTube and the whole content creation landscape changed since then? Or has it changed? Are you still kind of doing the same thing?
Definitely. I mean, getting 1 million views now versus back then is a lot harder. And I think it's much more prestige nowadays if you get 1 million views on YouTube, because you can't compare Instagram 1 million views or TikTok 1 million views to YouTube 1 million views, because
YouTube is harder.
YouTube is way harder, but way more respected, I would say, much more prestige kind of way, because
it's like TV now.
Yeah, it's definitely TV, and also the feedback is it's not that fast paced kind of way, because like the people take time to watch the video, analyze so you get like really good feedback out of the YouTube comments, which is really cool. You rarely see that on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah. Oh.
So definitely, I would say it's much harder to go viral these days, because there is so much content putting out. And like compared to the Late for School, it's still one of the one of my most viewed video to date, which is pretty wild when you think of that, because like the Late for School video, it took us probably 5 days or something, 4 or 5 days maybe, not even.
Wow.
Probably. Yeah. There was such a random side quest in a way. It was pretty cool. Originally, we planned to call it Late for Work, but then somehow we couldn't find a place to go to a workplace and film there, and then we just took the school in my area.
But you were only like 15 years old anyway, right?
Definitely, yes, exactly.
Were you going to wear a suit? Like if it was late to work, were you going to like wear a suit?
Definitely. But still, you could have done it. It wouldn't be that bad. But still, Late for School is
Late for School is perfect.
Yes. It's definitely perfect. Maybe if I would do it today, it's probably like Late for University or whatever. As I said, I think like the 1 million views is much harder to get. I think it's much harder to start nowadays, because the not even the tricks must be good at all, but the filming and the editing should be on a pretty high level, so to speak. I mean, still, like if you do POV stuff with a GoPro or whatever, then it's pretty easy, because POV is usually not that hard to edit and people love to watch it. But if you do a whole like story-based, like the Late for School, if I put this video, like if I were like, if I would be 15 again and put this video out, it wouldn't get like 40 million views. That's for sure, because it just changed, and it might be harder to get into the business, especially when you need to convince new sponsors to support this project. Because back then nobody gave us any budget or whatever to create these videos, because we didn't do it before. Yeah. So I think nowadays it's much harder to get into the business, stay into the business, because you need to be pretty consistent, because sometimes you have this one-hit wonder, and that's what I want to prove as well, that if people say like, I mean, it was a nice time, but now there are no more videos coming or whatever, or it's not the same anymore. And then we still want to prove every year that you can get a little bit more crazy, get a little bit more creative.
Yeah. Which is what you did with Wibmer Impossible that just came out in December. And oh my gosh, I love it. Like, definitely my favorite video of the year.
Really?
And I love the like cops and robbers theme, you know, like I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen this before because obviously that's a popular, there's movies, you know, made about the same theme, you know, Catch the Thief. And I saw in the behind the scenes documentary, you said that you and your team came up with this concept after a bike was stolen while you were scouting locations for the film. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. That was such a wild time. We went to Prague, and then we just did a spot check, because we wanted to see how it is in real life to be there and see all the spots. And then we slept in a public place hotel kind of, or at least the parking was pretty public. And then I tried to lock the car with like keyless or like wireless, whatever. And then it didn't lock. And that was really weird because, like we said, dude, that never happened before, that it doesn't lock, or it almost looked like as it is like disconnected with the car. And then because we had 2 e-bikes in the car, and then I said to my cousin, which is like filming and doing some editing stuff as well, I said to him, let's do at least one e-bike out of the car, because like this is getting like,
it's not locked.
This is really strange now. And then we put one out of the car and left one in there, and we covered it with multiple things, with jackets and whatever, so you couldn't see anything. And then the next day we came back, and he said like, where did you do the e-bike?
Oh, no.
And I was like, why? And he was like, yeah, because there's nothing in there anymore. And I was like, no way, because I thought I was getting paranoid or whatever out there, because I was like, I don't know how safe it is to leave the bike.
Do you think somebody was jamming the remote?
Yes, kind of. Yeah, we think that is the thing why it couldn't lock the car. And after I like 10 or 20, like after the 20th try, it locked. And that never happened before, and still
they can like
didn't
steal your code or something when you do that.
I don't know how that works. But that never happened before and never happened after. So it was only thing in Prague, and that's why I only like, it was stupid to leave like one bike in there anyways. But we said like it's only the last night. And it was pretty unlucky.
You got your idea for the video, so it was worth it.
Exactly. And then we were just when we went home after having like the police. We went to the police and did all this kind of stuff, and then we were just kidding around like on the way home how fun it would be to have this story. Because it's based on a real story, kind of.
Right.
And that's when Wibmer Impossible came to life, kind of, or at least the vision came to life. And then having this behind the scenes makes it just so fun and so natural, because we didn't have to make up an idea.
Did you have an idea though? I mean, you knew you wanted to film in Prague, and so did you have some ideas of what you thought you might do?
To be honest, not really, or not 100%, because we went there and we knew the urban riding must be next level over there. And I already had a pretty sick torque downhill bike to ride it. And like the story was still not there, which was not ideal, but we knew we were going to do urban freeride in Prague, because it was like such a dream to ride up there, and with all these stairs, all these spots, that was such a cool thing. And the story was still missing storyline. And that was just perfect kind of way. It wanted it to be like that, you know, with the story. And we were pretty, in a way, we were kind of happy to have a nice story. And also, as you mentioned, nobody did it before like this. That the biker is the chaser, and that was a pretty cool thing, and so natural. And even like now with the behind the scenes, it was really, really fun to do.
Yeah, and it's like you could almost do a whole series of it. I mean, there's like James Bond has 25 movies that are all the same kind of idea, trying to get the bad guy. And so,
exactly.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
that's why we came up with the Wibmer Impossible, like Mission Impossible. It was kind of, it all felt like
Tom Cruise.
Yes, it was like so easy to get, like sometimes you struggle a lot with the idea and it's not that natural, but with this one, the title was really cool in my point of view. And also the story and the writing up there was unreal. And yeah, it was really cool to do all that stuff.
Awesome. Well, I think fun. I heard that the production took 26 days across kind of 4 different filming blocks.
Yeah.
So of all of that, what was the most challenging trick or scene to nail? Like, what did you spend the most time on, or what was the one maybe even that you were most worried about?
Yeah, maybe if I would like to start with the overall problem, or not let's not say problem, but challenge, was that there's so much tourism going on in Prague. This was really, really wild because sometimes you're getting ready for a take, or like riding the stairs, jumping the stairs, whatever. And then you have to, like, when I'm usually riding, I'm riding like in the bike park or skate park or whatever.
Right.
You're getting like ready in your mind. And then once I'm ready, I'm going to hit it. Yeah. And every time I said like, all right, guys, I'm ready. Let's do this. And then they were like, no, wait, there's someone coming. And that was so hard to regain this focus all over again and all the time. This was like a proper challenge. But especially what was a big challenge was, I think it was the step down backflip. That was probably like the most challenging thing in the video.
And that one was in the middle. I was surprised because that was like your most dramatic trick, which, usually would be like at the end of the video.
Yeah.
But this was like hits you in the middle and you're like, oh my goodness, that was insane.
Yeah, I like when things are not that obvious to think of.
Yeah.
And maybe especially when you think in the middle, all right, that's the middle part, there's maybe not the big highlight. Yeah. And then you see this drop at first and then backflipping it. Like that's kind of thing.
Between the trees too. I mean, hopefully people have seen this video now. And if they haven't, they'll go watch it before we talk about it. But yeah, what a trick.
Yeah, that was such a big challenge because I didn't do this trick ever before. Like I've never did it before. And there was a big challenge because I didn't know if I can make it around like a full backflip.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how steep the jump needs to be. And even between this tree and the run up was horrible because it was so tiny with the block what was on the left to hit the handlebars. And that was such a big challenge you can't really see in the video. Yeah. And there was such a wild thing to do, but somehow I was so convinced that it might work, and also like let's start with the beginning of jumping building the jump.
Yeah,
that was also that was pretty complicated because where can you get the dirt?
Yeah, where do you get the dirt?
Yes, it's not official. Like you can't make it too obvious that you're building a jump in the middle of the park,
right?
Because there was security guys like just checking what the people are there, if everything is all right. And then always when they come by, you just have to act like there's nothing going on. Yes,
man. Do you help build? I assume you're there shoveling dirt, right? I mean, you have a small crew. Yeah,
exactly. We did it, but the shovel was really small. It was like, I don't know, you can't it was like that or whatever.
Not even a full shovel.
No. We hadn't had a proper shovel. It was like a fold shovel kind of.
Yeah.
And that was such a struggle. And then we spent like 2 hours or 2 or 3 hours to get the jump or get the dirt. And the jump was like 30 or 25 centimeters big. And there was like tiny. Nothing. And we said like, I don't know if we should spend our time to get more dirt for a few more centimeters.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I didn't even know if I would do it. That was the main part. Like, are we wasting time, or is it like, does it make sense to continue now?
Yeah.
And that was like a big part, because like you're spending a lot of money by spending it on the crew, and they are waiting until you are ready. And and at this point, as I said, I didn't even know if I would do it, and that was a pretty hard part for me, and a hard decision to make. But in the end, when the jump was all right, kind of way, I was like, all right, let's do one more try, and then I'll say if I will do it or not. It was like until the last second, it was unsure if I will do it. And then I said, like, all right, if everybody's ready now, I'm going to do it. So I tried, and then it worked out like a dream. It was perfect. There was so much pressure on myself, not because of anybody else, but because of myself, basically. I put so much pressure on myself to prove that this wasn't a waste of time, and to get a real banger and something new. Which is always so special for me, to have something for myself, and I don't need to prove anybody else to get attention from anybody else. I just want to do it for myself, to see, okay, I am able to do this kind of stuff without like any, like, of course I'm prepared, but not for a step down backflip, but still I believe that I can do it. And that was enough for me to believe in myself. And I was so scared, to be honest. I was so scared to do that. But at the same time, I got such a good energy, and I thought, like, I can do it with the fear inside. I can still do it and still try it. And and it worked. It worked like I imagined it in my head. It was perfect. Awesome. Honestly, it was a little under-rotated a little bit, but in the end, I was so stoked to get it through the trees. And at the same time, do the first ever step down backflip. It was such a special moment. It wasn't like that big to say like it was 10 meters or whatever. But still the overall setup was so sketchy and so, I was so afraid to do it every single time, every single test jump, because of the circumstances. And once you're in the urban area, it stays like that. When you're in a bike park, or when you shape your own trails, you can change this and put this landing a little bit like this, and the jump like this. You had
a lot of constraints.
Yes, exactly. And if you're in urban area, it stays like that, and it most likely will not change. And that's what's a big challenge. And but in the end, I'm so happy that I did it, and it worked out like an absolute dream.
Well, after you do a trick like that, do you ever think about doing it again? Like, oh, I could do it better. Or are you just like, I did it, I'm never going to try that again?
It really depends. Like on this one, I actually forgot to turn on my GoPro.
Oh no.
That was really wild, and that was a big bummer. Once I realized that it wasn't rolling, because it was recording the whole time, and then the drone was behind me, and I clicked like play, and it was, I don't know, I just couldn't hear if it was recording or not. Then we actually considered if I would do it another time, but it wasn't really the risk, which I didn't want to. Like, the risk would be pretty calculated, because I knew it worked.
You were more confident? You were like, I did it, so I could do it.
I did it. I can do it another time. But the main thing for me was like, I don't get the same emotions anymore. Like I will not have the same stoke anymore.
You have to be acting.
Yes, the acting kind of part, but as well as it's not as special anymore. The whole feeling, like, maybe if there's still a chance there is still a chance to get hurt, because you're never 100% sure, because of the tight rolling with the handlebars and through the trees. there is still a little chance, and we have to think about if it's worth it or not. And I think in the end, it would be nice to have the GoPro, but in the main video, I'm not even sure if I would use it. And that was the main thing which I said, like, maybe let's not spend more time here and just move on, because it worked. We have 90% of the angles, and I'm pretty happy with the FPV drone. So it was like a dream, and sometimes you have to know when it's enough, basically, and just say, all right, let's take it, even though if we don't have the GoPro, it's not worth it to risk it and postpone the video like until next year, maybe. I don't know. And then that would be a big bummer for everyone. And that's what nobody sees, like all the calculations. What is right now? What should we do? What makes sense? That's kind of a thing nobody talks about, which is pretty interesting kind of way, because like if you get hurt or whatever, you can't finish the project, and this means you have to come back next year, and so there will be no video next year, which is it's crazy. A conflict. Yeah, it's a conflict, but it's not even like that the sponsors want the video, but myself. It would be so annoying to know that I did it. We had all the angles, and just for a GoPro and then get hurt. Like sometimes you have to be smart, play it smart, for a long-term, career, I would say.
Yeah. Well, so I want to talk a little bit about your bike setup for Wibmer Impossible, and also, so you actually did crash at least once that I saw in the behind the scenes, and in that crash you were attempting this triple stair set jump, and the wheel upon landing, just your front wheel just exploded basically, and I saw that you were running a TPU tube in the wheel. Why were you running a tube? Do you usually run tubes?
Yes, I'm a big tube fan, honestly.
Really?
Yes, I'm a big tube fan. Ever since I raced the downhill, I'm a big tube fan. Mainly because we started it because my dad loved to work with tubes much more than with
He didn't
tubeless. Yes, messy. Because it was it is really messy, especially when you don't really know how to do it, and then when you start it's really complicated. But also when I was racing, it felt like all the time when I'm running tubeless, there was I was unlucky with losing a little bit of air, and always it was never so. There was never such consistency as with tubes, I would say. Because with tubes, it was always felt the same. Every run was nice. Everyone felt the same. And especially now with the Tubolitos, I'm running the orange tubes. Maybe you've seen them. Yeah. And they are like the dream. They are extremely lightweight. And really, I had one, that was the only time I had a flat tire in the video, and because the wheel exploded.
That was more than a flat tire. That was flat wheel.
Was more than a flat. Yeah, that was more than a flat tire. But still, I just love to run with tubes as well as on the trials bike. It's always been that way, and also in racing. When you get down and have a flat tire, it just sucks because the wool, you messed up the whole weekend basically with training and seeding and whatever. Yeah. So it's
interesting because I think a lot of just regular trail riders, they don't, especially the TPU tubes, the Tubolitos, they just don't trust them that much. But it sounds like you do. I mean, you ride harder than anybody else, and it sounds like they work well for you.
Yeah, it sounds really well. I don't know. I hear a lot of crazy stories, but this never happened to me. I don't know. Maybe it's a mix out of the tires as well, that you need good tubes and good tires. Maybe sometimes
definitely.
you don't have good tires as well. So, but this setup works really, really good for me. And also on the trials bike, because on trials bike, you often hit the rim inside.
Yeah.
So this was never a problem. And I'm just so happy to do that. And it would be weird to run tubeless on the downhill bike and tubes on the trials bike, because I like to have still a little bit consistency, even though the trials bike is so much different to the downhill bike.
Yeah.
But I just love the tubes, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
I guess since you're running tubes, you're not running tire inserts, which seems like that would help in an urban environment, especially because you got all those square-edged, stairs and things. But yeah, no need for tire inserts.
No, definitely not. But yeah, maybe it would have helped for the triple stair set. But it was wild. It was wild.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned that you're riding the Canyon Torque downhill bike. Is that set up, other than the tubes, is that set up pretty much stock, or what modifications do you make to the bike?
It's like, obviously, like we try to get the best parts out there, or in my kind of like what's best for me. With the Magura brakes, they are pretty aggressive, especially for the part when I did the trials stuff over the bike stands.
Yeah.
Or that the brakes are different. Like we even had like Industry 9 hubs, and I had like I thought I had the most stable rims which are out there, because I wanted to.
You probably did.
I don't know. I've honestly never seen a wheel explode which is aluminium. I always thought that it's only possible with carbon.
But have you ever done a jump like that before?
No, I didn't. But when I was in the air, like when I realized that I'm going to hit flat, I didn't think that there is a chance that the wheel might explode like this, because
I didn't expect
the aluminium one was like, it cracked like on 3 or 4 different parts, not just one, like in the middle. Yeah. So that was really weird. And I thought I had the best settings on the bike, because like I got the hubs from there, I got the rims there, like I got some custom parts on it. But still wasn't that good in the end. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it wasn't the best parts, but I thought like. But
you said the hubs were the Industry 9. Are you looking for like really high engagement? I assume for trials.
Yes, for trials riding. Exactly. I mean, on the one side, like obviously the sound is pretty cool, but on the other side, it's really functional. And I didn't try them on the downhill bike, on an enduro bike yet. And that's why I thought this might be a good opportunity to test them. And on the trials kind of stuff, they really helped me to get the trials thing more like similar to the actual trial bike. But I mean, for me, there's like minor differences to the stock bike, because like we painted the rims and the hubs, painted them self-made. But if you have like Industry 9 in there, or any other brand, it's not that relevant, I would say. I think the main things which are different to the stock bikes are really the Magura brakes and the free coaster. Basically, this is probably what we had in there. This is probably, or not even like a free coaster. It was more like we just remove the teeth of the gear,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just grinded them away, kind of. And that worked like a dream. And we always do this kind of stuff. I think that's the two things which are different to the stock setup, I would say. Like obviously the suspension as well. It was a pretty pretty hard suspension for the things for the flip and the trial stuff, and for the hard impacts, it's better to run it a little bit more hard. But other than that, it was pretty stock bike, I would say. There wouldn't be a big difference if I would just have used a stock bike, to be honest. Just maybe the look of it, and I would need to upgrade the brakes. But other than that, it's all right. Yeah. It would be.
That makes sense, because there used to be like dedicated free ride bikes that were separate from downhill bikes, but now it seems like most people are using downhill bikes with just kind of, like you said, minor modifications. I want to talk about another style of bike that you've ridden in your videos, which is a gravel bike. So in Gravel Mania, another super unique concept where you're taking this gravel bike through a bike park in Austria. I believe also you filmed in Germany and Switzerland as well, but you're kind of starting top of the mountain, coming all the way down through the park on a gravel bike. Yeah. So I'm curious, how did you prepare for those tricks on a drop bar bike? Like, do you ride that type of bike a lot, or was this something that was completely new to you?
Honestly, I didn't prepare at all.
No,
I've never been on a gravel bike before this video. Yeah.
Whoa. What did you think when you first got on it? Were you like, this is not going to work, or were you like, this is fine?
Honestly, like I was in contact with Canyon, and I was like, I want to do something this year, because I already did like 2 videos this year, because there was a trial bike video and another trial bike video, which were released earlier this year. And then I thought like, I don't know, it feels like we have some time left to have another little project. So it wasn't that big at all at first. And then I just texted them, maybe it would be nice to do something with a gravel bike, because there's such a big gravel hype going on. Yeah. And I was like, maybe that's the right time to do something. And they sent me a gravel bike over. And I was like, just let's bring it to the bike park, to my local park, and then let's just try how this works. And it worked like an absolute dream. It was pretty like...
It looked like it. I mean, you looked natural on it.
Yes, definitely. It wasn't that far off. Like, it felt like, obviously, like not as a downhill bike, but also not like a trial bike. You know, it was decent. It was really all right. Like, I thought like, that's like, that might work actually. And we started with doing small jumps and small doubles, just not even filming, just trying, just playing around. And then I said like, I went back to Canyon and I said like, I will do it. I'm going to film. I'm going to shoot a video. And at this point, we didn't tell them what we're going to do, because I didn't want to have that much pressure on me, because I didn't even know what I will do and where is this going to lead. But the first thing which really was stuck in my mind was the scary body position when I had that drop handlebar. That was so unnatural, and I've never had this feeling before. I didn't even know how to change gear. And that was so wild. And as this was my first time, even like I've never did road biking before, and it was like the first time I was using these kind of handlebars. Yeah. And there was everything. And then since then, it escalated pretty quickly with the stunts and with all the stuff we did, because like
you were flipping on the bike. Crazy.
Almost like the flipping was almost the most easy part to do because the flipping was
so
really
low, or the body position makes it easier.
Yes, no, I actually didn't use the brakes. I did it. I grabbed it on the upper side of the handlebar. So that was pretty alright. Obviously, I couldn't use the brakes, which was a little bit tough, and to get the speed going, to not be too fast and not pedal too fast. But that was the most easy part. I think the most challenging part was definitely the big double. I think it was in the middle of the video. The big double, the whip-off in Innsbruck, the Crankworx whip-off jump.
Yeah.
That was
wow. I didn't realize that was part of the whip-off. Oh, my goodness. On a gravel bike.
It was. And I remember a few years ago, I was so scared to hit this jump, even on the downhill bike.
Yeah.
And then I've never thought that I will come back with a gravel bike and do this kind of stuff or this kind of trick. And that was such a big challenge for me. And as I said, it just escalated at this point because the jumps got bigger. And then I thought we're not far off from the whip-off jump in Innsbruck. And we were like, are you really considering that? And I was like, maybe, let's see. I mean, I have to try. And then I did a couple of test runs on the actual downhill bike, and it was still scary. So, back then, I don't know how I got myself into this position, but kind of, once I have a vision, I can't go back. Like, I knew it might work, and also I knew at this point we did already the crazy stuff with the drop. It was in Safhaus the bike park. There was a drop in the bike park, and we did all this crazy stuff. And at this point, I knew I probably never going to or there's. Let's say there's never going to be another gravel video which is that wild. You know what I mean? Because it was already that wild. And I said to myself, I'm probably not going, I can't make it any further if I would do a part 2, you know? And at this point I was like, maybe let's see where is the actual limit on the gravel bike. And that was actually the reason why I went up there, because I knew there's probably never going to be another gravel video like this one, because the jump was just so big, and everything was pretty alright. Because I would say I'm a pretty light guy. You know what I mean?
If you ride the bike light.
Exactly. I ride the bike light, but I'm also in general, I'm not that heavy. You know what I mean? And that was like a big advantage for me to get use of the bike. And to hit that jump, that was such an unreal feeling. I did it twice because the first time I couldn't make it over. I had to eject the bike, basically.
Oh, geez.
Yes, but it went all right. Just a few scratches, and then I straight went back up because I was in such a different mode with all the adrenaline in me. And then the second time I pedaled all I had, and then I barely got over it. So it was it was a really wild moment, and it really stuck with me. And the feedback of the Gravel Mania was probably, maybe still today, it was the wildest feedback ever, because it felt so unreal for the people who are doing the gravel thing. That they said, like, this is unreal. And also the first time, I think it was the first time that we got to, like, we had elderly audience kind of way, because the gravel thing is like not not a lot of young people do the gravel biker thing.
Right. Yep.
So we reached a whole new audience, which was pretty cool. Even in my home area, there was a lot of people which never talked to me or whatever, and they said like, I can't believe what you did on this gravel bike, and how does it even work? And so it was pretty. We were pretty under radar on this one, like under radar.
Like you said, you did it all. There's no way to top that. And was that like, in this case, was that big jump, was that like the last thing that you filmed? Had you already had all of what you needed, and so you're willing to take that risk? Or
I mean, it was probably the last third, I would say, of the video. So the last third part, because in the middle part I actually got a concussion from falling off the gravel bike, because as I said, I was like head first. Yeah, I went into a corner and I slammed my head pretty hard on the surface or on the ground. So we had to brake. Had a little break in between, and then we went straight back because I wanted to do it earlier. I think 1 or 2 days after the crash happened, and then we had to postpone it. Mm-hmm. So it was the third, like the last third, I would say, of the video. And I think the actually last part was actually the start scene was the last part. Actually, where I was standing on a mountain, because we just didn't want to get up there, because it was such a long journey to get up there, or a long hike with the bike and with the heavy drone. And we're usually a pretty small team, so that's why we did
hella drops for you.
No, unfortunately,
under your own power.
Yeah, definitely. No, but in general, there was a wild project as well as for Kenyan, because they didn't know until I sent them a rough cut. They didn't know what we were up to, and they didn't even know that we are going to escalate that much. So there was a big challenge, but I'm stoked we did it, and I can't imagine at this point that I'm going to top this with a part 2. But let's see. I don't know. Maybe in a few years we will be back. So I like
never say never. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I like to push myself. Every once.
Well, so you've ridden obviously in some really amazing, beautiful places. What is your favorite place to ride when you're just riding for fun?
I think, to be honest, that my local park, it's just so natural. I just go there without any pressure. I just enjoy riding with my friends or people I meet in the park. It's just such a cool thing to just chill around, have a good time, have a good flow. Maybe if there's a break in between or whatever, to get off the dust, or I don't know how to say that better, but just to get a good feeling for the bike as well. And I think the local park in my area, but despite from riding at home, what I think the sickest trail or the sickest area which I ever rode was in Utah. Oh, I loved riding in Utah. Wow. Yeah. That was the absolute dream. Like the free riding there was so sick, because they are living the dream which I can't live in Austria, kind of, because they can just go out there and build something, and there's nobody doing something about it. You're allowed to do that, build the biggest jump you've ever seen, and people will say, hell yes.
So right. Austria has a lot of restrictions, right?
Yes, on biking, exactly. Even if it's your own property, you're not allowed to have a big jump or whatever. So this is crazy in a way, but that's why Utah inspired me a lot. And when I was there, I've actually been there once, but that was one of the best times I've ever had in my life. That was the best thing ever. There was actually, Utah was right before the gravel thing, the gravel video, to be honest.
Inspired you a little bit. Yeah. That's cool.
I don't know, but I was so comfortable with riding my bike, and maybe that's why I started with the gravel thing. But Utah was unreal place with all these trails and the big jumps and the community, the MTB community there was so friendly and so welcoming, and you really fell in love again with riding bikes.
Yeah,
basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we started the conversation talking about you're competing in downhill and trials early on, and you had some really impressive results, like top 10 finish in the UCI Mountain Bike World Championships junior downhill race.
Yes.
In addition to your trials wins. So do you have interest in competing in these types of races in the future, or maybe even something that's like, the Red Bull urban downhill race that's in Chile every year? Like, is that of interest to you?
So let's say I'm still racing in a way, but not like in World Cup way. I'm still racing the national champs and like not the World Cup itself, but still I'm doing some races, so I'm not like far from racing. I think racing is still part of me because like I love to do that. As you mentioned, the World Championship and all this kind of stuff. So it still lives inside of me, which is pretty cool. But when it comes to like, that was the hard part in my career, I would say, to choose between, do I want to continue making the videos or do I want to race the World Cups? And because like it's
hard to do both, I'm sure. They both take a lot of time and concentration.
It worked pretty all right until like 18, I would say, 17, 18. It worked pretty good. It worked like a dream because I did my videos and they were like they went viral. The videos with the late for school thing, and besides of that, the racing, it was really good. Like not that I would say that. It was really, really good results, and I was happy on the bike, and it felt really good. And I had my own sponsors, but at one point, you see other riders which usually are slower than you, like compared, but they have a new team, and when they have a new team, then they went faster. They went a lot faster, and I knew like there is some hidden potential inside of me because like. With a team, with an actual racing team, you just get faster. It is like that. It's really hard to have your own sponsors with with racing. That was actually the hard part because I had sponsors which were interested in me, and I didn't have a team racing basically, and that's. And I got offers from teams as well, from racing teams. But then I had to make the choice between do I want to have my own sponsor or do I want to be in a team? And that's when I had to make the decision if I want to continue racing or do the content. And that was like where I knew I'm never going to leave my sponsors, like because they helped me a lot to get here. And now being in a team, of course, if I want to continue racing, I had to do it. But I just couldn't give up on this one. And honestly, it feels like I'm too creative for racing. That was the main problem because like the creative part was always inside of me. And also like I still edit my videos or mainly edit my videos myself.
Oh, wow.
So I'm still such a creative guy, and I just didn't want to lose it over racing. But still, racing was fun. But to make this choice to leave them and go to a racing team and not being able to trial bike anymore because you're a downhill racer, that was a wild thing to think about. And that was actually when I said, honestly, I think I want to inspire people, and the best thing to do that is the videos, is the video making and this kind of stuff, because People in my area probably don't know who is the best downhill racer, but they know, but they know me. You know, like it's just you get a whole new audience of people, and people who usually don't, who usually are not watching the YouTube, YouTube
they're
videos
not
or bike
watching
videos.
the races. Yeah,
Not watching the races, and as well, usually they don't watch biking content. But then there's a random guy with a random story, and then coming around, and they say like, "I want a bike. I want to do that as well." But maybe not in this, not that extreme. But they still want to experience this kind of stuff, and that's what kept me going to entertain the people and inspire them to start with biking. Because on the one side we have the biking audience, the MTB community, but on the other side we have people who've never touched a bike in their life, which is so cool. We just get to inspire them and get to watch my story. I mean, nowadays it's even in racing, it's a big part. Like the content is still is a big part nowadays. But back in the days, I think I was like, it felt like I was one of a few people who took it seriously. And I don't know. I feel like, I think it was a right choice, because both things, I just couldn't do both things at once, because it got much more dangerous at this time, because I couldn't train enough to race good, and then I had a bad race, and it just was overall not a good thing to do. And I think it was the right choice to get more into the YouTube kind of stuff, but still have the racing background and still do some races. So I think that's a pretty nice solution for me, and I'm pretty happy with that, to inspire people. And maybe I don't know, maybe if I would have continued with racing, I wouldn't be on the podcast. So I don't know. I think it's definitely a hard
seems
thing.
For sure like it is the right fit for you. Like you said, you're very creative, and to have that independence and the freedom, and just watching the behind the scenes video with you and your crew, it was like, it was obvious that you were all just having a blast. I mean, it was like hanging out with your friends, and it's the dream for a lot of us, I think, to be in that position. And then to have it like show through in the work, I think that's just like the best of both worlds. And so, of course, we have to talk about your family connection. Your cousin Fabio Wibmer is also a big name in freeride with a massive following. So what's it like having a family member that kind of does the same thing as you? Do you two ride together? Do you collaborate? Like what's that like?
Yeah, we used to ride a lot back in the days. As I said earlier, like in our village, we just used to ride bikes, basically. And I think, to be honest, one of the main things which really changed our skills was actually our trampoline at home.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so
that's been in some of both of your videos, I think, right?
Exactly. So the trampoline, like my dad bought it back in the days. I was like 5 or 6 probably.
Yeah.
And like we used to do like unofficial contests, like village contests, and do these kind of tricks. Also with Fabio. So basically he's just like a normal cousin. So probably like, obviously he's one of the best in the world, and most known in the world, but he's still like a cousin,
Yeah.
And like when you grow up in the same area, you just have same interests and same hobbies. And the trampoline thing was really a big thing in our village, because you learned like this air awareness and the tricks and the backflips and all of that. So I think that even Fabio like had a huge profit from our trampoline as well. So that was pretty cool to grow up with him. And also we back in the days we did a did a video together. So that was pretty cool. And actually, my first YouTube video, it's like 10 years old trial riders. You can look it up on YouTube. It's still on Fabio's YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty fun because we used to help each other with the filming and for the YouTube video. And then he said like, hey, do you want a YouTube video? And I was like, yeah, why not? Like it might be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
little did you know.
Yes, little did we know. And then that was pretty cool. But at the same time, we both didn't know where this can lead, all this kind of stuff, because you obviously back then you couldn't live off YouTube. We couldn't even like type it correctly or pronounce it correctly. So probably there were some YouTubers out there which could make a living out of this, but we didn't know that because we just had the passion, and we just rode together and had a good time with all my other cousins back then. He used to do motocross like longer than I did.
Oh, okay.
But besides from that, it was pretty similar, and we both were inspired by Danny McCaskill with the Inspired video, and there was, I don't know, it was just a natural thing, and he's just like a cousin, like everyone else, kind of, basically. Just to say that,
very
but
cool.
we were just pushing each other a little bit, like maybe not each other. He was way older than me, and then like when we started, and he had like more power and more this kind of stuff. But it never was like that we going to do a proper training session or like with tips to give each other.
No game of bike between you two?
Not really. No, it was. It would be fun now to do one, but just for entertaining reasons. But back then it was no competition at all, and still no competition at all. It just
cool.
Just two guys who
hanging out.
Two guys hanging out.
Now everybody's going to get a trampoline after this. I think all the young kids, listening and watching your videos are going to say, "I need a trampoline." That's
for sure. For sure, both of us. It helped a lot for us both. 100%.
Yeah. Well, so you're 23 years old. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That's a pretty hard question, to be honest.
That's a hard question for anybody at any age, for sure. Yeah.
Mainly, I think the main goal is to still have fun in what I do for a living. That I'm still happy to ride bikes, healthy, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's the main goal, to just have fun, and anything else. Like, I think if you have fun and you have a proper passion, it's a good life, I would say.
Yeah.
But to get in this question more specifically, I think what would be cool to have like a wife and maybe some kids, maybe, and a house, maybe a skate park in front of the house.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know.
Do you skateboard, or are you thinking about the kids? The kids are going to be the skateboarders.
I think actually for myself a skate park, but not skating in this like a skate park, more like a
skate bike park.
Yeah, a skate bike park, exactly. No, that would be pretty fun. But also, I would love to like still be in the scene, and maybe still do the YouTube videos. Maybe I don't know where we can push from that, but it would be fun to still be in the MTB kind of category or in the scene. But maybe when I'm older and can't push myself anymore, it would be cool to maybe help others to reach their potential, maybe in a mindset kind of way, because I like when I go riding with friends or other people, I like to give them some tips and some help. I just love to help other people and help them to reach their goals a little bit, as far as it goes. But it's that might be pretty cool to consider that, to help other people to make a living out of this. And especially, I would say I have a pretty good eye in seeing other people's potential when they are on a bike, because I really know what it takes to be a good biker.
Yeah.
But also the work what is behind all this bike thing. Because nowadays it's pretty cool. You don't have to be the best biker, but you have to be the best in being seen. Like
right. Like a talent scout for bikers. It seems like I don't know if that job exists, but it should, and it seems like you would be perfect for it.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool to do something like this, because every time I see someone, I just know if someone's good on a bike or if someone's really, really good on a bike. So there's a good difference, a little difference in between. And maybe in this kind of direction, it would be fun to do, but I don't think that this is an actual job. But maybe I would like to help people to have a passion and get better with this passion and actually make a living. And as I said, the main part or the main goal is to stay healthy and be happy on the bike or whatever I'm going to do in 10 years. So hopefully I can just do what I still want to do.
You've inspired so many people, and I know that you'll continue to do that in whatever you do. So this has been awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat. Before we wrap up, where can people follow you, and what's the best way to stay up to date with your latest videos?
Definitely Instagram. You can just type in Wibmer Gabriel. I think that's the best way to connect with me and stay up to date. But also YouTube. This will be a main goal for 2026 to continue with big video project, but also smaller projects. I just love to entertain people, inspire people to get on the bike, get outside. It's so important, especially these days. It's so important to go outside, have something to pursue in life, to get better in life. So I think Instagram and YouTube will hopefully be, is and hopefully will be the main platform. I'm going to entertain people and update people what's going on and inspire them to do whatever.
Do you have projects already planned, I imagine, for this year for those channels?
Yes, we have some plans going on. It's nothing 100% sure yet, but maybe something with e-bike could be fun. But also I think with the Spectral, it's like the enduro bike from Canyon. That might be pretty. Bike. Yes, it is. It is really, really fun. And because we want to always mix the bikes, kind of, because last year we had the downhill, then previous year we had
two extremes. You had the gravel and downhill. So there's a lot in between those two.
But also we had a trial bike, so it feels like it would be natural to do something with the Spectral, because I always want to change things up a little bit, because like a year apart from another project is not that long, and to progress in this like short amount of time, it's pretty hard. So that's why I love to always, change the bikes a little bit and do a progress in different ways and have different goals to reach. Because if I would do every year urban downhill video, it would be boring probably.
I wouldn't get bored. I would love to watch every single one of them many times.
Probably more boring for myself. Let's say that, because I just love to play around and find new things. So a Spectral might be a hot take, but let's see. I'm not sure. As I said, I want to focus on the YouTube kind of thing to maybe get more consistent, because it takes so long to get these big video projects done, and it just takes so long. It's like there's so much going on. People don't see, even with music licensing and all this stuff. It just takes so long and so many problems until a video is actually live on YouTube. So let's see. I would like to get a little bit more consistent, like, I don't know, Sam Pilgrim or something. He is really inspiring. He's a fun guy. Let's see where it goes. But Spectral or e-bike might be pretty fun for this year. Let's see.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it. Well, thank you again for joining us, Gabriel. We really appreciate it. It's been lots of fun.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here, and fun to be part of this one.
Great. Well, thanks to all of you for listening to the Single Tracks podcast. We'll catch you on the next episode.